Hello, my name is Garrett Sharp with the Striding Group, and this is a demonstration of SAP's BPC 10 on Microsoft Excel 2007. Alrighty, so today I'm going to show you guys how to use the Read Only Data tab underneath the Report Editor. That's the screen we're looking at right here. And the main use of this tab is for whenever you have an input form and you want to select a certain member as read only, this would be the case. And what I mean by read only, it means that when you go ahead and save that data in the input form, it will not include the selected member. Alright, so before we go through with that, I just want to reference this basic input form I created. It just has revenue accounts on the row axis and time along the column axis. Alrighty. So just to show you how the input form works, we'll go ahead and just put a value of 10 for each of these cells. And if you're wondering why these cells are yellow, it's just because I format them that way just to kind of make it easier to follow for you guys. Alright, so now when we go ahead press save data, you'll see that 3 records will now be sent. Press yes. And it worked. We can see we have 3 accepted. Alright, and now you can see they're in there. But now let's say if we want to mark merchandise revenue as a read-only member. To do so, we go and edit report, go over to the read-only data tab, and from here we go ahead and select member. So to do so, we'll just keep going down. We'll select merchandise revenue. So now that that's selected, alright, so now let's say we want to change these values to 12. It looks like they're changed, but when you go ahead and press save data again this time, you'll see that not only 2 records will be sent, and that is due to the fact that merchandise revenue is not getting included. And to prove that, we have 2 accepted, and now you can see merchandise revenue is still at 10 instead of 12 like the others. Alright, so that's the basic overall function of the Read Only Data tab, but one other very useful case you'd want to use it is when, say, you have formulas inside your report. So let's go ahead and change this and make calculate parents and hierarchies. So now you can see the quarter 1 is now a formula. Alright, so now let's go ahead and remove the merchandise revenue by clicking the remove members button. Alright, and so now when we go ahead and let's put 14 in, we go to press send or save data, I apologize, you'll now see that it shows 6 records. And the reason for this is that it's including the 2013 January records, but since quarter 1 is a formula, it then includes these. So as you can see, once I press yes, once it loads, now see that there were 3 rejected counts, and that's because you cannot save data underneath the calculated member, so in this case quarter 1. But one way to get around this though is to go back to edit report, and now instead of setting a certain member as read only, instead we can set a certain property. So in this case we'll want to set calculated. So go to time, here, select the property calculated, equals yes, add filter, we should be all good to go. So now let's say we make this just say 20. It should now only enter 3 records as opposed to 6 as it was previously. 3 records, and perfect. Alright, so now I'm going to show you one last feature underneath the read-only data tab, and that is this at intersection only checkbox. And so right now, if we have it unchecked, go ahead and remove this member, and let's say we'll add we'll make merchandise revenue read-only, and let's do January 2013. So there we go. Alright, so without that unchecked, that now means that all values underneath 2013 January will not be entered, and same with merchandise revenue. So, to see if that's true, go ahead and change these all to, let's say, 30. Let's change these to 30 as well. Alright, so if this stands true, that means none of these values will get entered. And there we go, there's no data to save. However, now, if we go back to the read-only data tab and we select at intersection only, go ahead and do this again real quick. This now means that at the January 2013 and merchandise revenue intersection, so this cell here, that means that's the only one that will be marked as read only. And therefore there should be 4 values being entered. There we go, 4 data records. Alright, so as you can see, just at that intersection was the only one that did not get entered. So it worked perfect. And so that's about it for the read-only data tab underneath Report Editor, and next we're going to move on to local members.